introduce myself real quick so you guys have a sort of idea who is making this video to type of person that I wanted to make this video to. Does that make any sense? I have no idea. But hi, my name is Peace Gaze. I'm a full-time creator slash freelance videographer who also happens to love to create vibey ad vlogs. This channel is mainly talking about camera and my lifestyle, and I love creating vlogs. But I'm also I don't want to say professional because there are people who are way better than I am, but I do make videos for a living, both professionally and on social media. iPhone has become probably the most popular and easy to use camera, not only for content creators, but everyday life too. Let's be honest here, even I make a living from videography, I probably use iPhone's video camera feature the most. Almost every day. This video is all going to be videographer's perspective, who also shoots a lot of social media stuff. That's also gonna talk about the setting aspect of my everyday setting whenever I'm just filming social media stuff just for like casual filmmaking, and my more professional cinematic setting on iPhone. Does that make any sense? I think so. Also, the talking headshot right now that you guys are seeing is shot on iPhone 17 Pro with ProRes RAW. I know the file size is going to be crazy and the editing going to be hectic, but it's okay because this right here, it's crazy. Okay, before we get into the camera setting of my phone, let's talk about my preferred lenses to shoot on an iPhone. So iPhone 17 Pro comes with 4 amazing lenses: telephoto, which is the 4X, wide, which is 1X, and 0.5, which is ultra wide, and selfie camera. And most of the time I only use wide, which is 1X, because the wide lens, the 1X lens, has the widest aperture, which is f1.8. The benefit of having fast aperture of f1.8 is that, one, it's very good in low light capability. Because the f-stop is wide open, it lets a lot of light in the camera, so whenever you're filming in nighttime, or not even nighttime, like blue hour and stuff, the 1X forms the best. And not only that, because it has a fast aperture, it creates more separation between the subject and the background. As you guys can see, the background is super blurry, and the subject right here, my hand, is on focus and it looks really clear. Also, the autofocus on iPhone is pretty crazy, not gonna lie. So whenever I post a bit more, not serious, but if some of the scenery that I wanna shoot in the clearest image or in low light situation, I use the 1X. Let's be honest, the newest iPhone has really good lenses throughout all the lenses. Like even telephoto is super crispy, and now all the cameras in the back on iPhone is 48 megapixel. Now we can crop on the default camera app. We can shoot up to 8X, like easily. That's insane. One time I was on a bullet train with Gaku and we saw Mount Fuji from the bullet train in Japan, and I shot 8X and it looked insane. Like, it doesn't make any sense. And the stabilization is crazy too. Like, I was shaking like a madman, but the footage is so stable. I don't know how they do it. For the selfie camera has the new square sensor, which you don't have to rotate to shoot horizontal video or vertical video, photo, vice versa. When I got the phone first, I didn't really know the benefit of not having to rotate the phone. I didn't really care too much, but I was so wrong. I usually have this phone stand that I can attach it behind the phone, and the fact that I can just flip it and use it vertically but shooting horizontally myself is insane. It's so useful. I mean, if you guys watch any tech YouTubers review or like any camera YouTuber review about the phone, like no one really talking shit about the camera. I'm saying here, it's insane.
Always had a way to make it work and find another route. Always had a way to make it work and find another route.
Now we're in the setting. Let's talk about my everyday setting and my cinematic setting. Okay, so first, my everyday setting, I go to the setting menu, go to camera, and turn off HDR. So what HDR video does, I don't want to explain it too much, but it's basically setting all the exposure evenly on the video so everything look evenly exposed. It's really cool. If you look on an iPhone, it looks such a kind of artificially, but it looks really cool. The problem with HDR video is that you only can view the HDR video on HDR capable devices such as iPhone. And if you happen to ever try to edit on more advanced editing software such as Final Cut, DaVinci, Premiere, the HDR video looks so bad. It looks really bad. So I usually just turn it off. I don't even want that. Like, I turn that thing off. In addition, I go to formats, and in camera capture, I choose most compatible. In terms of the resolution and frames per second, my default is 4K 30 frames per second. For social media such as Instagram and Snapchat, if you use Snapchat or TikTok, 1080p is pretty much enough. That's the default resolution for it. However, I never going to know if I'm gonna use that footage on YouTube or some other platform that uses 4K. So I keep it on 4K usually. And most of the social media, I think all the social media's default frames per second is 30. But whenever I'm filming YouTube video or more cinematic like video, I shoot on 24 frames per second. Like right now, I'm filming 24 on iPhone because I really do love the motion blur. Okay, let's talk about my cinematic setting for my 17 Pro. The app I use is the Blackmagic camera app. It was the easiest app for me to adjust the setting and use and whatnot. Also, it's free, so free is always good. Okay, in terms of log, I shoot on Apple Log 2. Now, the difference between 1 and 2, the dynamic range is the same according to my research. However, since Apple Log 2 has the new color space compared to the 1, the first one I think it was Rec 2020, and the Apple Log 2 is Apple Wide Gamut. According to my research, Apple Wide Gamut takes a bit more information from the colors compared to the Apple Log 1. For me, at least, color grading the log footage is very like personal preferences. Like, it's really about how your color grading suits the log that you coloring. In terms of video codecs, I usually film on Apple ProRes 422 LT, which is the lowest setting, not the proxy. Proxy is the lowest setting, but in terms of the higher quality Apple ProRes 422 lore, the 422 LT for me has the best storage size to quality ratio. However, that's for like easier shoot whenever I want to film vlog. I want to make my iPhone film on my vlog just a bit more cinematic. I use 422 LT, but whenever I forget like external storage with me, I shoot on HEVC, which is H.265 codec. You can still film 10-bit, but the storage size is super small and it's highly compressed. In addition, whenever I want to go all in, like I want to make the most beautiful iPhone footage and I don't have my FX3 or A7C II with me, I film on Apple ProRes RAW. First of all, this codec is 12-bit, so it has a bit more range compared to filming on 10-bit. And not only that, once you import in editing software such as Final Cut Pro and DaVinci Resolve, you can change the ISO and the white balance before you even start color grading. So that is a plus. I already made 2 videos about how to film cinematic image on iPhone 17 Pro. So if you guys want to check my opinion, please check those out. I'll link them in the description below. But it's just really fun to film with Apple ProRes RAW in my opinion. Because first of all, whenever you film in Apple ProRes RAW, you can film in OpenGate, which is 4:3 aspect ratio. So it's super easy to adjust the crop as a horizontal footage or vertical. So you can use it for both vertical platform and horizontal platform on social media. Super easy to color grade, super fun to color grade. And the fact that you can film such a data dense footage on a phone is crazy. Even though I have to take a tripod with me because whenever you're filming Apple ProRes RAW, you cannot use any stabilization, so tripod is a must. But even with a tripod and a phone, it's still a light setup compared to carrying around like a big cinema camera, you know? So it's such a easy, light, super fun situation to film. And when I'm filming landscape, especially landscape, it looks just like my FX3. I'll probably not gonna use Apple ProRes RAW or iPhone in general as much as I want to for a freelance gig, because it requires, you know, responsibility that client is hiring you to film a professional quality video. So the responsibility wise, it's really hard to use iPhone. And also it's not as like practical because there's no button to change the setting and stuff. So it's not as fast and intuitive compared to, you know, actual camera. So it's hard to use it on client work, but for social media, this is such a fun tool, such a unique, light, fun way to film, and I absolutely love it. It's really practical, surprisingly. So yeah, Apple ProRes RAW, if you have time and extra external storage to play around, I highly suggest you to like try it out. It's so fun, so good. And yeah, OpenGate on iPhone is amazing. And speaking of OpenGate, in terms of resolution, I do not film OpenGate with other settings, like such as Apple ProRes 422 or HEVC on Blackmagic camera app, because it's not a true OpenGate. It's just a crop 4K footage. So you literally reducing the resolution. So I shoot that on 4K, but whenever I'm filming Apple ProRes RAW, I'll film on OpenGate. Let's talk about if iPhone is good for vlogging or not. Well, honestly, it really depends on what you want from your vlogs, right? If you want to film very casually, not thinking about too much about filming in certain settings on the camera, and just trying to tell a good story with enough resolution, even if you film on iPhone, Osmo Pocket, FX3, A7C II, filming on a standard color profile on an FX3 is insane. But, you know, as long as the video is good and you're enjoying the process, filming on standard color profile, like a default app on the phone, it's really good. I personally do not care. Like, I watch so many lifestyle vloggers that shoots on default, like without any color grading, and iPhone footage looks amazing. So if you're more of a creator who doesn't really care too much, who cares more about the story compared to the footage, iPhone is amazing. iPhone is probably the best camera that you can have. Like, as a vlogging camera, it's insane. Horizontal footage on selfie camera without any rotation, and the mic quality is amazing too. And also you get 0.5, 1x, and 4x. Like, you literally have a Swiss Army knife of a camera, like a video camera, in your pocket. And also you can send iMessage and post photo on Insta straight from the phone. It's insane, right? It makes so much sense. But for my cinematic homies, I'm gonna be honest here, I'm a very pro filming vlog on a phone. It's nice, it's easy, it's light, you don't have to carry a big camera with you all the time. I'm talking from a vlogger perspective right now. And if you don't care about shutter speed and you just want to color grade the footage, I think it's such a light setup that it's so worth it to do it. However, when it comes to like, you have to attach external SSD, ND filter, and you have to carry those around all the time, and the fact that there's no physical button on iPhone to set up your shutter speed, white balance, etc., etc., it's more convenient than a cinema camera and mirrorless camera. However, it's not as intuitive to set up the situation wherever you're filming, because I love iPhone, the practicality and the efficiency, the convenience of it is amazing. But whenever I'm filming a vlog on the go with like a talking head setup with my friends and stuff, I probably prefer A7C II or FX3 because of the flip out screen, and I can constantly see myself on the screen, and the practicality of physical buttons. It's way more intuitive and make so much more sense. So in terms of that, the fact that we need a lot of attachment on the phone to make it more cinematic, and the fact that there's no flip out screen to see yourself on the rear camera, and there's no physical button, it still, for me, doesn't completely convince myself to be fully filming my vlog on a phone. I really hope that makes sense. I really hope so. Also, the other thing about iPhone is that there's less pressure whenever you're filming in public. I'm not the biggest fan, maybe because I live in Japan, but I'm not the biggest fan of pulling out a big ass camera into my face, holding an arm and talking to the camera. I feel so bad for people around me that they have to like dodge the frame to not be in my video, and I want to protect people's privacy as much as possible, and I don't want to make people around me feel bad too. Like, so I do fully understand that perspective. And for me too, like I feel so much more pressure using bigger camera whenever I'm filming in public. But iPhone, the people around you are less pressured, and also you're less pressured as well. You feel a bit more, I don't know, I keep saying you, but I feel more comfortable taking out phone and talking to myself on a phone rather than a bigger camera. And also there's a lot of places around the world that you cannot take your camera with you, but phone's camera is okay. iPhone is pretty much, not iPhone in general, but smartphone is pretty much so accepted in society. Having an external SSD and ND filter always in your pocket might be a great idea. So in my conclusion, if you're a casual user, if you a lifestyle vlogger, not even lifestyle vlogger in general, but if you care about the storytelling aspect way more than color grading, iPhone, the best camera ever. I'm sorry, but it's the best camera ever. For my cinematic homies out there, practicality, I think iPhone is not as practical as bigger cameras. It's not the most intuitive camera. It's not that good of adjusting the exposure intuitively too, because there's no variable aperture. iPhone is a set aperture, so you cannot really change that. However, it's small, super fun to play around, especially the ProRes RAW. It's super fun to color grade. If you can create crazy spec ad with iPhone, I think you can convince the client to shoot more with iPhone too. So that's a benefit too. Also, I totally forgot, it's waterproof. It's freaking waterproof. So take it to snowboarding, take it to like maybe not kayaking, that's too much pressure from water. Take it to a little bit more activities and you can get some footage that you will usually not be able to get with bigger cameras. So that's also great too. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys like this video, please hit the like button. And if you guys like my vibe and the style of my channel, please hit the sub button. But anyway guys, I hope you guys have an amazing day. My name is Peace Gates and you guys already know. Peace out guys.